This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Afreilchen Tu B'Shvat. We're up to Siman Tafresh Peiches, Mishna Berura Yomi, Sif, hey, Ben Ir Shal Krach. Someone who lives in a city went to a walled city. Or Ben Krach Shal Ir, someone who lives in a walled city, he went to a regular city. If he has a mind to go back to his place, Bizman Kriya, at the time of the reading, and he got delayed and he didn't go back. He reads like his place. If he didn't have a mind to go back, only after the time of Kriya, he reads it with the people of his place that are there. Haga, Vimhu b'midbar, if he's in a desert, or b'sfino, or in a boat, Karbi Yom Daled, he reads on the 14th, Kamay Roifa Olam, like the majority of the world. Says the Mishna Berura. Ben Ir Shahalach Lekrach. Sif Zeu Lashon Rambam. This Sif is the Lashon of the Rambam. Because many people ask and have difficulty with the Sif. I have to widen the conversation here. I'll explain it based on the way the Rav Magid and the Kesef Mishnah explained. We got to know three things. Number one, if a person is connected to a open city, he's called an open city dweller. The Karbi reads on the 14th, and there likewise if someone is associated with a walled city, and he reads on the 15th. Second thing you need to know, Zman Kriya Hu Ekar Bayom. The main Kriya is during the day. If you're in the open city in the beginning of the 14th, you read on the 14th. The same thing would be if you're in a walled city on the 15th. And number three, Zman Kriya Shukaz Mechaber, the time of the Kriya of the reading, the Mechaber writes, Hainu Zman Kriya Samakum Shubayata. That is the time of the reading where you are now. Lo Zman Shiyatsu Misham, not the Zman of where you left. Va'ata Navar Sasif Keseder B'chol Prate B'chol Prat B'fnei Atzin. Now I'm going to explain the Sif in order and every detail by itself. Ben Ir Shahalach Lekrach. A city dweller that went to a walled city. If he had in mind the time of his traveling to go back to his place at the time of the Kriya, let's say no lomar, meaning to say Bizman Kriya Shal Tesvav, at the time of the reading of the 15th, Tahainu, that is Mishaher Hayom, from when it the day was illuminated, Lo Yiyasham, that is, if let's say when the day was lit, in other words, when it became day, lo yiyasham kim yachsam misham kadam ar hayom. In other words, like this: a benir that he went to a walled city. If he had in mind when he traveled to go back to his place in time of the Kriya, meaning the time of the Kriya, the 15th, that means when it becomes the 15th, he won't be there, but rather he'll go back before it's Her Hayom. Even though in the end he sees that he has to stay there on the 15th, he's not called someone who lives in a walled city. And he reads it on the 14th when he's in the walled city. But if at the time of his travel, he never had in mind to go back from the walled city, only after the time of the Kriya, that is the morning of the 15th, which is already the time of the reading, then the label of a walled city dweller is chal on him, and he reads with them on the 15th. Even if afterwards he goes back to a city b'yom tezvav, on the 15th, he reads it there, if he didn't read it originally in the walled city. Now we'll explain the sif regarding the second situation. A walled city dweller that goes into the regular city. If he had in mind at the time of his travel, to go back to his place at the time of the reading, that is, Belel Yodala, that he's going to go back, he's going to return from there on the night of the 14th, Kodim Shara before daybreak, Duzman Kriya, which is the time of reading, even though in the end he got delayed and he didn't go back, he reads it like in his place, if he didn't have in mind the time of his trip to be choser from there. Rak la'achar zman hakriya, only after the zman of the kriya. Do b'yom yadal b'boker, that's the 14th in the morning. Chala alav chayvas hakriya shal'ir. It's chala on him the obligation of the reading of the city. V'zo shamar mechaber, that's what the mechaber means. Korei amanshei hamakam, he reads it with the people of the place, asher hu sham, where he is. V'al ken afshe chazer ba'isa yoyim. Even though he went back on that day, and he came to a walled city, he has to read on that 14th, he's considered a resident of the city. Because of Taz, the Taz writes, all of this is specifically if he was there in the city in the beginning of the day. If he came back to his place, if he came back to the walled city before the day, it doesn't help what he thought in the beginning to be from the residents of the city. If he's in the desert, even if he is from the residents of the Krachin, then nevertheless, if he is in a boat or in a midbar, he reads on the 14th, says Al Yazud of Shem Nekabai. Sivvav. Yom Tesav Shchalius b'Shabbos. If the 15th comes out on Shabbos, Ein Karin Megillah b'Shabbos. We don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. So in other words, Purim comes out on Friday. So the villagers advance to Thursday, and the regular people, they'll read it on Friday. And the walled city people, they can't read the Megillah on Shabbos. El Makdim L'Kras B'Erev, they read it on Friday. They collect matnas of yoinim, and they divide that day. Uv'yom haShabbos moitzi and shnei svarim, they take out 2 svarim on Shabbos. Uv'sheni karin v'yavay amalek, and they say v'omer malanisim. And when do they make Sudas Purim? Says the Mechaber, they make Sudas Purim ve'ein oisin Sudas Purim ad yom echad b'Shabbos. They make the Suda on Sunday. So this is what we call Purim Meshulash. They read the Megillah Friday, Matas Avian on Friday, Zachar and Alanisim Shabbos, and Sudas Purim Sunday. This is not unanimously held. Let's see the Mishna Berura. Yom Tesav, the Ilu Yodaled, Yav Shalach b'Shabbos. The 14th can't come in on Shabbos. In Kairin, the Gaz Rabban Shem Yelch Yitzcham Lamda in Echel Kreis. You might go to a Chacham teacher how to read it. If you have Ran or Arba Amas for Shasarabim, HaMegillah b'Shabbos, Ba'az Yom HaShabbos Chesla Adar, Hu Parsha Zachar. Then Shabbos. So in other words, Shabbos is not Zachar. Shabbos is the Purim leaning. So then Zachar is Chesla Adar, and you're mafter pakadati, and Tezvav la'adar, you're also mafter pakadati b'krachin, and B'layos maftir b'seder shavua. Regular city, it's the regular after B'shalom v'darshan b'yom echos Purim, and you expand on the laws of Purim on that day, Kadesh Yizkru Inyan Hayom, in order to remember the subject of the day, Shechal b'chol, and when it comes out during the week, Yoitzin al yidei kriyas Megillah, you Yoitzei through reading the Megillah. V'omer malanisim b'Shabbos, you say Al Anisim on Shabbos, v'loi be'erev Shabbos, not on Friday. Shebe'emes l'krachin zvanim b'tesav v'lo b'yadad. Because the truth is, for a walled city, Purim is Shabbos. V'rak mishum gzer kanal, tzvichel l'kros Megillah, v'erev Shabbos. It's only a technical reason you're reading the Megillah Friday. If you said Al Anisim on Friday, you don't go back. You do not lean on Friday. Al Anisim yadad. For the regular cities, you say Al Anisim on the 14th, v'loi b'tesav. V'ir mesupik min kavas u'miyos u'shubanun. Then, if it's a city that's mesupik, omer Al Anisim b'shnei yamim. Ve'ein oisin. You do not make Sudas from till Sunday. Da'minam v'Yushalmi v'yasu oisam b'Shabbos. The Yushalmi says, why don't you make the Sudas on Shabbos? Amar leim yemei mishtaksiv es shesimchasai tuya bevezdin. It says yemei mishta, which we darshan a day that its simcha is dependent on bezin, that excludes Shabbos, that its simcha is b'dei shamayim. However, v'inei Maharal Chaviv herich loichiach. Maharal Chaviv speaks at length, and he proves the Bavli Shalano Ein Sarikin, that our Bavli argues on Isham. V'daita, his opinion is Shasuda hi b'Shabbos, that the meal is Shabbos. V'asakei ma'aser b'Yishlaim v'gam shalach manos v'Shabbos. Ki hambanos heimei hasuda. The manos are from the Suda. V'Radvaz chilek al siman tov kov ches pasuk hashachanach. The Radvaz passing on hashachanach. V'hinu gam kin das magin avam v'kar menasan chuvs nayd b'Yehuda chilek al siman membez. V'hinei pri chadash oisel talta al Megillah b'Shabbos ma'achar shein karim by. The pri chadash prohibits you to move the Megillah on Shabbos since you don't read it. Aval kam achronim cholkin olam matir. Many achronim argue, and they permit it. Okay, we'll hold it over here. But we'll pick it up tomorrow in Siv Zayin. Wishing everyone a wonderful day.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.